Did you know that depression has seen an amazing increase with every passing year? And you cannot say that that increase is due to more humans populating, because that has actually been decreasing. And I'm speaking specifically in America. Fewer people are having children, yet depression is skyrocketing. These graphs and statistics do not lie. So we are looking at a generation that chases after happiness, and therefore depression is more prevalent. There's nothing wrong with desiring to be happy, but at what point is it unrealistic, the amount of happiness a person has? In this video, I plan on discussing the obvious, that resiliency is severely lacking, where it once was very dominant in this country, of patriots and independence, fighting for rights, fighting for freedom, fighting for what's right. You needed resilience. So what people should be chasing after is just that. Because the reality, happiness 24/7 is not realistic, and it never will be. It never is intended to be. It is very obvious that working hard and being resilient are dying traits, or rather dying qualities in a person. But selfishness and the pursuit of self-love and care is highly desired. There's so many statistics out there along these lines of 75% of society go on vacation and seek out travel for their self-care. Trust me, I'm right there. I want to too. It's not to speak bad of those who are seeking happiness, because I was one of them. That used to be at the forefront of my day-to-day life. And I would seek it in various things like meditation. Sometimes people turn to medication, and sometimes that's needed. But at what point is it based on unrealistic expectation that you'll never be able to meet, being the reason you want to be on antidepressants? I might just be stating the obvious here, and you already am aware of that. So what do we do then? Obviously, society as a whole, there's a lot of good that's coming of it. There's a lot of good changes. There's a lot of technology and a lot of positive things. But if you're like me and you realize, yes, resiliency is something is not a strength that I have, and pursuing happiness might be a little bit unrealistic to what I'm trying to pursue, what do we do now? Here are 7 things you should implement and change in your day-to-day life in order to increase your resiliency, which will then in turn give you happiness. Once you do these things, because I had to do them myself in order to realize that it actually works, I noticed a huge increase in my ability to actually recognize things that would bring me joy and happiness, because I had to literally change my mindset and alter it a bit before I could even begin to recognize the things that actually were bringing me happiness that I never really thought. Your mindset will adjust a little bit once you try these things, and your happiness will increase because your resiliency has increased. They go hand in hand. So hopefully, once you try these, you too will notice great improvement. Number 1, eat healthy and be healthy until you are no longer insecure. This is number 1 because it is the most important thing I personally had to do to get over that hump. Insecurity affected my happiness. It affected my ability to be happy. So fixing that first helped everything else just fall into place so much easier. Perhaps you don't even think about it, but that is oftentimes the core of the reason why we might not be happy. And if that goes unchanged or unfixed until you're comfortable and happy with yourself, nothing else will matter. You can do all the other things, but if that's not at a place where you can confidently say it's not an issue, then you're wasting your time. Number 2, write down one good thing about your life daily. This is so important. Journaling is also something that is decreasing with every passing year. With technology taking over and so many journaling apps, it would make sense that actually stopping what you're doing and grabbing a pen and a paper and writing will impact you. Some people actually get anxiety from it because their brain is go, 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 and they just can't write as fast as their mind wants them to and as fast as they can if they were otherwise on a computer, on a keyboard, with their phone, or even talk to text. Writing is something that's dying away, that you need to make sure doesn't die away in your life. It helps you to not only just slow down, but it helps you to collect your thoughts. Your mind might be racing, your mind might be thinking tons of things, but should you be, or should you slow it down? And writing it out will actually help guide you on that. Number 3, walk barefoot under a full moon and a new moon. If you're new to the channel, you might not know that I'm a huge astrology fan. I study the cosmos. I love the moon cycles. I studied the different energies that actual scientific evidence shows affects us in major ways, like the moon. It's not a coincidence that crazy shit happens on a full moon. Do some research and you'll find some science and data there to back up that claim of the energies affecting us based on the gravity, the pull, everything about our universe. We are connected in many ways than you could imagine. Once I started walking barefoot under the moon cycles, I noticed an almost immediate change. I prefer to do it alone, preferably in silence, so don't take your kids out with you. But don't forget to miss at least the full and the new moon. This will become a favorite thing that you'll start to anticipate with excitement. Number 4, instead of the cliche meditate, which I'm kind of saying to do that, but instead, this is what you should do. Sit still by yourself with no noise around you. Close your eyes and picture a lush green forest. This helps me. Before, I would not know how to meditate, and it was so difficult and annoying. But when I started actually doing this and picturing and focusing my mind on that, it really helped me to close down my mind and begin to do what they call meditate. Do this for as long as you can and try to increase each time. You don't have to routinely do this every day. Do it when you feel like you have a moment that you know you'll have silence. Now, I don't have those moments regularly, so this isn't a daily thing that I'm able to do. But it is something I make sure I find time to do a few times throughout the week. Number 5, compare your mindset with a third world country. You might scoff at this, but it really is true. We need to get our mindset out of America and the media. We need to truly gather our thoughts and beliefs that we might feel passionate about and go study and learn and talk to people in a third world country. Just pick. There's tons of them. And start to learn about that. Learn about them. You can start a pen pal. You can become a humanitarian or donate or take a short-term missionary trip to researching and thinking about a country of your choice that's a third world country. This will truly help you and your mindset look really into something. Sometimes this will help curb some of our passionate beliefs or help us appreciate things that we have here that we didn't really appreciate before because we just never thought about it. Humanitarian efforts is something that is huge, and a lot of people that I know and come across have zero experience or desire in doing, which is sad. Go to bed early and get up early. Now, if this one is hard, especially if you're a mom with a bunch of kids or you want your me time and the only time to get it is late at night, I get it. But at least try, because honestly, there's a big portion of my life where I was not getting sleep because of a colicky baby, and it broke me. And it was only then that I realized how important sleep is and how it really affects your happiness and your mood. You might not realize that getting 3 to 5 hours of sleep isn't really bothering you. You might think it's not. But trust me, from someone who did not have a chance to sleep, it affected me and it changed who I was. So get good sleep, whether that means going to bed at a certain time that's not really early, like if you have the means to sleep in, but at least focus on trying to get 7 to 8 hours, preferably 8 to 9. And last but not least, start a botanical garden. Gardening is a way of really doing all that I just said, in a sense, not all of them, but most of what I just said, because you close down your mind, you're not on your phone, you're not on electronics, you're focusing at the task at hand and the goal that you're wanting to see. And after you achieve that goal, you can use it in day-to-day life. So a botanical garden is something that you use for food, for your health, for self-care. If you're growing lavender, rosemary, all of those kind of herbs that we use in our day-to-day life, or at least you should start using, those are like the fruits of your labor. You see the garden come to life and you dedicate that time, and you know if you don't do it, it'll die. So that kind of pushes you out there to do it, even if you didn't want to, because you don't want all that work to kill off. So start a botanical garden, and that will actually kill a lot of birds with one stone. And then when you're done there, visit thespiritualherbalist.com and learn all about that. Even while you're growing it, you can visit that site and learn a ton of stuff about botanicals and herbs that you might not have already known. I hope these 7 things help change your life for the better. It is always a progress. It is always something that we will always be seeking and coming back to and reevaluating, because we're human, and life, we don't know what's going to happen. Things can change. I've been down and out and homeless in homeless shelters. I've been broke, not knowing how I was going to buy or pay food or pay a bill. And those moments were really hard to think positive. So trust me, depending on the season you're in right now, it might not be something you're encouraged to do. But baby steps, because I did a couple of these things during my darkest times, and it made all the difference in the world. Best of luck to you, and thanks for visiting and watching my channel and my videos, and please be sure to subscribe, like, share this video for someone that you might know who might need to hear it.